There is a wealth greater than money, and a supply far richer than gold. And when you understand this truth, money itself becomes only the shadow of something much greater working in your favor. Divine wealth is not something you fight, for it is something you awaken to. It does not respond to anxiety, and it does not answer to fear. It responds to recognition. It appears when you finally realize that the universe is not withholding from you. It is waiting for you to believe. Too many people beg life for scraps, unaware they were born into inheritance. You were not created to struggle your way into survival. You were designed to move in grace, to walk in provision, and to live under a law that never runs out. And the moment you stop saying, "Why is this not working?" and begin declaring, "Everything is now working in my favor," unseen doors begin to open in silent agreement with your faith. There is a vault in the invisible, a treasury without locks, a supply that never diminishes no matter how often it is used. And your words are the keys. Every sentence you speak about money is either opening that door or sealing it shut. When you say, "I can't afford it," you handcuff your future, but when you declare, "Infinite supply meets me at every point of need," you activate laws older than time itself. Divine wealth is not born from exhaustion, conflict, or endless pursuit. It is born from harmony with unseen laws that govern every form of abundance in universe. When you fight life, life resists you. When you chase money with desperation, it moves farther away. But the moment you shift from struggle into trust, from force into faith, you begin to glide into a current that carries you effortlessly toward provision. Wealth is not something you hunt down like a frightened animal. It is something that responds to your inner state. The world outside is only a mirror, faithfully returning what you habitually expect, confess, and feel. If your inner world is filled with fear, your outer world must express limitation. But if your inner world is ordered by confidence, peace, and expectancy, your outer world rearranges itself to reflect prosperity. Alignment is the silent work happening behind every visible breakthrough. When your thoughts agree with abundance, your words become invitations to opportunity. When your emotions settle into assurance instead of anxiety, you signal readiness to receive. Divine wealth flows where there is harmony, not where there is tension. Rivers do not strain to reach the ocean. They follow the natural direction set for them. In the same way, supply has its own intelligence. It moves toward minds that are open, grateful, and certain. You were never meant to live by surviving. You were created to live sustained by invisible supply, guided by intuition, and supported by laws that respond not to labor, but to belief. Trust is not passive. It is the most powerful form of action. It tells life, "I expect good without fear," and life answers boldly to expectation. The moment you stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios and begin mentally occupying best-case outcomes, something shifts in the atmosphere around you. You don't have to calculate every dollar when you understand the source is inexhaustible. You stop asking, "How will this happen?" and begin declaring, "It is happening now." The unseen world moves faster than the visible one, and when you align your inner vision with faith, results rush toward you unseen until suddenly they appear. Struggle delays blessings, peace accelerates them, anxiety clogs the channels of supply, faith clears the path. When you release the need to control every detail, you open yourself to better outcomes than you could have planned. Divine wealth arrives through surprising doors, unexpected connections, and unplanned miracles. It rarely follows human logic, but it always follows divine law. When you align within, life aligns without. Stop measuring your future with yesterday's failures. Stop letting past lack draft your destiny. You are not subject to economic conditions, you are subject to consciousness. And when consciousness is prosperity-based, circumstances must comply. You carry an invisible credit line from the infinite. You are never truly out of luck. You are only temporarily out of alignment. The second you realign your thought with trust, your speech with faith, and your heart with expectation, supply begins to reorganize around you. Wealth seeks you when you become peaceful about provision. It moves toward gratitude, confidence, and inner authority. And when you finally release the idea that life must be hard in order to be successful, you discover the invisible force that has been waiting all along to make things easier, brighter, and fuller than you imagined. Every word you speak is not merely a sound, it is a seed. It carries instruction. It releases direction. It announces what you believe and commands what you will receive. Your life listens to you far more closely than you realize, and money in particular is obedient to language. The inner conversation you hold daily about wealth, lack, and possibility is writing your financial story in real time. You do not wait for circumstances to change before you speak well. You speak well to cause circumstances to change. When your words rise, your life must follow. If you repeatedly say you are struggling, you teach struggle to dwell with you. If you speak constantly of bills, debt, and difficulty, you silently invite them to multiply. The spoken word is creative fire, and most people burn their future with careless sentences. You were never meant to rehearse problems aloud. You were meant to announce solutions before they appear. Your voice is meant to prophesy provision, not publish poverty. When you change how you speak about money, you change the atmosphere around money in your life. Words form an invisible environment in which wealth either thrives or withers. Speak in scarcity, and money will feel distant and difficult. Speak in abundance, and it begins to move toward you as though summoned. There is a law at work that does not deny a confident command spoken in faith. Life rearranges itself around consistent declaration, not occasional optimism, but daily authority. The greatest miracle happens not outside you, but within you, the moment your language turns from hope into certainty. Do not say, "One day I will prosper," for the future never arrives if you exile your blessings there. Speak in the present tense. Speak as though supply is alive and listening, because it is. Speak as though doors are opening, because they are. Speak as though your needs are already met, and life will hasten to catch up with your confession. Do not speak of what you fear. Fear feeds on attention. Speak what you trust. Speak what you expect. Speak what you choose to become. You will never outperform your vocabulary. If your language is limited, your life must be limited. But when your words expand, your world follows. A mind trained in rich conversation produces a life rich in experience. Even silence speaks. What you allow to go unchallenged within you becomes the governing voice of your world. Replace complaint with command. Replace worry with witness. Declare favor until you see evidence. Announce success before it arrives. Announce health before it appears. Announce wealth before it manifests. This is not wishful speaking. This is spiritual law in motion. Speak kindly of money, and it will greet you kindly. Speak lovingly of opportunity, and it will look for you. Speak confidently of provision, and it will come seeking your hands to bless. And never again insult your future with a careless word about your own worth. You are not unlucky. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are in training to master the power of your voice. What you say today walks ahead of you tomorrow. Every great change in fortune begins with a quiet sentence whispered to oneself in confidence. Speak as a ruler, not a beggar. Speak as one chosen, not delayed. Speak as though unseen forces stand ready to obey your word, because they do. Letting go of anxiety about money is not weakness, it is wisdom. Worry does not prepare you for the future. It poisons the present. Desperation closes doors that faith would have opened effortlessly. When the mind is clenched in fear, it cannot receive. When the heart is locked in doubt, supply cannot enter. Divine provision is gentle, precise, and intelligent, but it does not force its way into a consciousness crowded with panic. It waits for space, it waits for calm, it waits for trust. Fear is a form of resistance, and resistance interrupts the flow of abundance just as a knot chokes a river. Supply wants to move freely toward you, but anxiety dams it with endless questions. What if this fails? What if it's too late? What if I lose everything? These questions do not protect you, they weaken your power. The mind that anticipates loss lives inside loss. The heart that expects absence experiences absence. What you silently rehearse, you invite. Peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of confidence. It is the quiet knowing that no condition has authority over your destiny. When you cultivate peace, you cultivate access. Faith is not blind belief, it is inner sight. It sees plenty where the world sees lack. It detects opportunity where others sense danger. And this inner sight guides you into environments that match your certainty. The universe is governed not by desperation, but by expectancy. Whatever you anticipate becomes your personal forecast. When you expect lack, you unknowingly cooperate with it. When you expect provision, you prepare your hands to receive it. That is why those who worry constantly rarely discover peace, and those who trust discover solutions before trouble fully forms. Release the burden of how. The intellect wants to solve divine problems with human logic, but supply arrives through channels beyond your calculation. What you cannot plan, life arranges. What you cannot predict, divine order organizes. When you stop trying to control outcomes, you allow better ones to find you. Stillness is not inactivity, it is alignment. The quiet mind becomes obedient to guidance. Faith removes confusion. When fear leaves, clarity enters, and clarity creates success. Anxiety scatters your energy. Confidence concentrates it. Do not confuse rest with laziness. Rest is power. It is the posture of one who understands that effort alone does not create riches, alignment does. You are never meant to exhaust yourself into wealth. Wealth arrives when you learn to receive. The world does not reward strain, it rewards resonance. When your inner life resonates with certainty, opportunity harmonizes around you. When your heart stops trembling, your life stops trembling. You are not punished for relaxing. You are promoted by it. When you release worry, you remove the final barrier between yourself and abundance. Trust is not risky, fear is. Worry has never saved a situation. Faith has transformed millions. Relax your grip on outcome. Loosen your hold on fear, open your hands to peace, and watch how swiftly life runs to meet you when you finally stop running from it. Wealth is shy around fear, but bold around belief. And the moment you choose confidence over panic, you trigger a chain of blessings that cannot be stopped once they begin moving in your direction. Your imagination is not entertainment for the idle mind, it is the workshop where destiny is designed. Life does not begin with action, it begins with vision. Before anything appears in your hands, it must be held in your consciousness. Before it arrives in your world, it must live vividly within you. What you repeatedly imagine, you quietly prepare to receive. What you emotionally accept as real, your world will eventually make factual. Imagination is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. It is the doorway through which future experiences walk into the present. When you allow yourself to picture freedom, wealth, and success with feeling, you are not escaping reality, you are creating it. The outer world is always late, the inner world is always first. Do not judge your life by what you see now. Judge it by what you consistently envision. Your thoughts are sketches. Your feelings are paint. And imagination is the canvas upon which tomorrow is formed. If you continually rehearse failure within, you will encounter it without. But if you repeatedly dwell in images of success, peace, and brilliant outcomes, existence must echo your expectation. Life does not distinguish between a mental picture rehearsed with emotion and a physical event. Whatever you impress upon your mind with feeling becomes instruction for the universe. Most people allow imagination to work against them. They picture worst-case scenarios and rehearse disasters that have not occurred, then wonder why their life feels heavy and delayed. But you can reverse the process today. Paint your future boldly. Dare to see doors opening when none appear visible. Dare to imagine checks arriving, opportunities blooming, help appearing at precisely the right moment. Dare to see yourself free where you were once surrounded. Feeling is the fuel of imagination. Cold pictures produce cold results. But when emotion is added, movement begins. Feel success now. Feel relief now. Feel gratitude now. The world rearranges itself around emotional conviction much faster than intellectual belief. When your imagination feels real, your future becomes unavoidable. Do not apologize for vision. Small pictures create small results, and timid dreams create timid lives. You are not disloyal for imagining a better life. You are obedient to your design. Imagination is not fantasy. It is divine preview. Refuse to let present conditions bully your future image. What you see now is not what you're becoming. It is only evidence of what you once believed. Today's vision produces tomorrow's environment. Change the picture and the scene must shift. Visualize vividly, expect boldly, feel deeply. Your mind is not idle ground, it is sacred ground. Every image planted with belief grows into experience. And as you continue to paint scenes of abundance and joy within, the universe will quietly gather its resources, arrange its timing, and move people, places, and events to match what you dared to see long before it arrived. Gratitude is not politeness. It is spiritual authority. It is the language of those who understand that priority belongs not to what is visible, but to what is inevitable. When you give thanks only after receiving, you act like a follower of circumstances. But when you give thanks before anything changes, you move as a commander of outcomes. The universe interprets gratitude in advance as certainty, and certainty accelerates manifestation with astonishing speed. Gratitude dissolves resistance. It softens the places where anxiety once clung. It lifts the weight of doubt like light lifts shadow. Where gratitude lives, fear starves. Where gratitude reigns, lack loses its voice. Every time you choose appreciation instead of complaint, you shift into a higher frequency of reception. You stop being a bystander to blessing and become its magnet. Nothing repels abundance faster than bitterness. Nothing attracts it faster than thanksgiving. When you complain, you announce dissatisfaction with life itself, and life responds by withdrawing. When you give thanks, you declare cooperation with unseen good, and it rushes toward you. Gratitude does not deny reality. It defies limitation. It says, "This is not the final version of my story," and the universe applauds with opportunity. Thankfulness is proof of faith. It is belief with its sleeves rolled up. When you say thank you, before evidence appears, you are not hoping, you are knowing. You are telling life, I recognize what is already forming for me. And life, hearing recognition, moves faster. Gratitude binds all the other powers together. Faith may begin the process, vision may shape it, and words may command it, but gratitude seals it. It locks blessing in place, it stabilizes results and multiplies returns. Do not wait for perfection before appreciation. Thank in the middle of the mess. Thank while answers are still on their way. Thank while circumstances are rearranging behind the scenes. Gratitude is the patience that does not panic. It is the confidence that smiles while waiting. Every time you appreciate what you already have, you create a vacuum for more. Appreciation enlarges capacity. The more thankful you are, the more life trusts you with increase. Gratitude is not a reward for having, it is the cause of having. Be grateful for small beginnings, because greatness wears ordinary clothing at first. Be thankful for delays, because some are protection in disguise. Be grateful for setbacks, because they refine direction. Life responds warmly to those who value its gifts. When you develop the habit of praise, you position yourself where favor flows naturally. Give thanks when doors are opening. Give thanks when they appear closed. Give thanks when you're sure. Give thanks when you are uncertain. Gratitude does not ask permission from conditions. It creates its own conditions. And now, as you stand at the edge of a new understanding, remember this. Wealth has never been outside of you, searching for permission. It has always been waiting within you, asking for recognition. The moment you change your inner world, your outer world must obey. When your thoughts agree with abundance, your words speak life, your imagination sees clearly, your heart rests in trust, and your spirit overflows with gratitude, there is no force powerful enough to stop prosperity from finding you. Do not leave this message where you found it. Carry it into your tone, your choices, your expectations, and your daily thinking. Speak as one who knows. Imagine as one who believes. Give thanks as one who is certain. And walk as one who understands that supply is not something to chase, but something that responds.